You mentioned that because it was the crux of how we felt we could make a show that people who don't particularly like Westerns would also like. Because yes, a bunch of people like Westerns, but not everyone. And when Chad Feehan and I, our showrunner and creator, sat down to talk about what are the universal truths around Bass Reeves that could speak to a global audience in a real way. And exactly what you just mentioned is the thing we zoned in on. This is a guy who has a very dangerous job. He had a bunch of kids, he had a wife he loved, and we can all identify with the work-life balance and how tricky that is to balance. So if you have a guy who, you know, on average, he was going out, sometimes he'd be away for a month, he's you know, trying to arrest bad guys. It had one of the highest mortality rates of any job you could do in America at that time, so you genuinely don't know if you're gonna come back home. And so that was something that felt like you could identify with. Someone who loved their wife, is constantly trying to get back to their wife, but also he has a badass wife who, you know, you really want to root for that love between them. You want to see them come back to each other. And that is something that, whether you like the shoot 'em ups or the whole stuff or the whatever, that was something that I think is a universal truth, no matter who you are. If you have some kind of familial relationship, you will be able to identify with that.
Yeah, and badass daughter too is